Okay. Today is March 11th. The time is 8:53. The appeal number is 52. My name is Chrissy Kelly, and I'm here with Michael Becker, and the property address is 109 to 111 Kenwood Avenue. Good?
Very good.
All right, I will swear you in super quick.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. The 11th, and sign it. And then I just need your signature on that first one there.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Yep.
I can borrow that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. All right. I'm Chrissy Kelly. I'm an alternate on the Board of Assessment Appeals. They bring in extra people because we have so many.
I'm well aware.
So
Yep.
I just got to go through my spiel. All right, the rest is yours. You have the floor.
Very good. Okay, just a little background. We own 8 properties.
Okay,
Basically, everything is in the Grassmere area.
fair enough. Okay.
Rentals, multifamily,
Sure.
slow versed. Been doing this for 23 years, so I know the market.
Okay.
First year I've ever contested, just to tell you that too. Never, I've always, I'm pretty, whatever, long-time resident, understand taxes. But this year, though, there were some extremes. So I actually have 4. 3 of them I did with the, 4 of them went to the first stage.
Okay.
3 they adjusted.
They did.
Because I gave them reasonable
Yep.
comps. I'm not
Yeah.
saying, market, I'm saying comps to the neighbors and all these. They adjusted, they didn't touch this one, which was actually, the one I had was even more blatant. So I'm gonna show you that.
Okay.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, fine.
That's 109 Kenwood. It is a 4-unit building,
Okay.
which
Yep.
is odd in Fairfield. There's not a lot
Okay.
of 4 units. You see 2s and 3s, of which we own. And this is my only 4. So it is a little bit tougher, but I point that out. But unfortunately, it was an online thing with them, I think.
With Tyler, okay.
With Tyler,
Mhm.
yeah. So when I gave him, they just didn't
They
follow.
made no adjustment to this one.
No adjustment.
Okay.
Came back with no adjustment.
Fair
And the other ones were reasonable, and I didn't ask for anything crazy.
Okay.
So I just want it fair for what everybody else is doing. So that's my spiel to start this off.
Okay.
So the nearest one I have, and the most similar one, if you're gonna have a 4-unit, is at 84 Longview Avenue, which you should have the, document on that. I have the actual field card. I printed this, which is basically the field card information. But I have the field card here if you want that as well.
No, I can do that.
Oh, well.
I mean, I'll take it for the file.
I ran field card this morning.
fine.
So there's that one.
Okay.
Do you want my field card as well, for your records?
That should be in here, isn't it?
It's not there, I give that
it's
one.
not.
So here's the
Okay.
actual field card off of Vision 2. I don't normally run field cards, so that's why I was saying.
Yeah.
So as you will notice, the one at 84 Longview has an appraised value of, I'm going by appraisal, not assessment.
Okay.
Appraised value, 660, 800.
Mm-hmm.
Then the one at Kenwood is at 714, 100.
Right.
And this is actually a higher value property in that it's a 4-unit, but he has 1 3-bedroom and 3 1-bedrooms.
Okay.
Okay, with the same 4 bathrooms that we have. We have 4 1-bedrooms.
So this one has 1 3-bedroom and 2 and
3
3
1.
1-bedroom.
It's the only other, it's a 4-bedroom. It's a 4-unit comp, so it gives you an apple to apples for a 4-unit. Then you could plus or
And
minus.
yours has the
4 1-bedrooms.
4 1-bedroom.
And they're 1 bath. So there's 4 1-bedroom, 1 bath. So it's a comparable number of bathrooms, but 2 less bedrooms. So, this one also has off-street parking. Again, you guys, I don't know if the appraisers really take that in consideration. We only have on-street on Kenwood where it is. There is no off-street for that.
So,
Otherwise,
so I just want to make sure I have it right. Your property has off-street.
No off-street.
No off-street parking.
No. From a retail market standpoint, if I was trying to sell it, those are, selling things. But usually an appraiser would use baths, bedrooms maybe, footage, that type of thing. So it's reasonably close. And you'll see what I thought the price should be. And I brought it down basically in line with what they did for him. I thought that it should be $659 is my request.
Right, so get you closer to the 660 as
to the
opposed to the
660,
740.
yeah. I mean, nowhere, then this is so blatantly off from that.
Okay.
I don't know what they used, and I'm not even sure if they really looked at what I did, I don't know either. A lot of values are in land, but the land is no different really and stuff. They put a lot of money into land. I used to print this revale around.
Yes.
Land went, and.
That was everywhere.
And it just, it looked like that was, I don't know, my opinion, it was the easy way of doing their job. But we'll leave that for what it is, and the town has to decide in the future.
Right.
Because some of it's not a fair thing in the real world when how properties sell.
Agreed.
And trust me.
Agreed, and I'm seeing some of the ones that have come in so far, I've seen people get, like, a rising tide lifts all boats, but not all boats are the same.
Exactly.
Some of them have holes in them.
So that's why we have an appeal here, right?
Yes.
So we're here.
Right.
So that's basically where I'm at.
That's common.
And that was my
really
justification.
So few of them.
I just, again, want to be fair.
Yeah.
And if you go to a couple of other ones, which I did bring today, just to show you, if you go to 3 units that are next door to this one at Longview, and again, these are Grassmere's, like, one side of Grassmere Ave, another side of it's all the same in the pricing. There were 2 3-families, and they are considerably, let's see, I ran their.
You have their address.
I ran, there's their field card, that's 36. This is actually the one, these are Churchill, his is on the corner of Longview and Churchill, so. But so literally next door, here's 24 and here's 36. And they're down in the low 6s. So that would be like taking that and plussing it up, if you wanna do it from a real, an appraiser, that's what appraisers do, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I've, dealt with plenty of it.
Right.
So, they plus or minus off of comps, and that's how they should derive it.
Absolutely.
So that gave you some other bases to it, besides just that one.
No, I'll take all of them, because when I go back to them, I wanna have as many.
And again, Tyler had all this stuff, I had them. Because of the other properties, I had done a whole bunch.
Right.
Because they're all literally in the stone's throw of each other.
Okay.
And like I said, they adjusted, 2 3s and a 2-family.
Okay.
They adjusted for me.
Okay.
And they,
In line, more in line.
Oh, yeah, they brought them down into, again, the numbers I showed, but the comps I gave, and then this thing was just hanging out there. So I got to come see you today.
Great, awesome.
So that's it for me. If you are clear, and I haven't babbled off too much too fast.
No, I think this is great. I mean, the more comps you can give us, the better, you
Okay.
know?
So now what happens?
So now, because we have 900 of these.
And 11, I heard?
I'm sorry? 911, yes, but
I heard 911 total.
911 were submitted, but I think some of them in there, I don't know how many. We're not gonna hear commercial properties that are assessed over $1 million.
Okay.
So I don't know how many of those we can filter, a couple out, I don't know.
Yeah.
But call it 900.
Call it 900, nice even 900.
We are ambitiously hoping to be done with deliberations by the end of March, but I don't know if you saw, there was a bunch of no-shows in the last couple of days, so I don't know if that's gonna extend. But we are deliberating, we'll start deliberating when we're done with hearings. First in, first out, so you're on the earlier end, so hopefully, I'm hopeful that it's like early April, like that first.
And we get like
April.
another.
You'll just get a letter.
A letter, like another adjustment letter.
The number.
The
It
number.
could be the same, it could be different.
Right.
No explanations, but we will be recording the deliberations, so if you do wanna go back and hear, how did they get to this number, or why didn't they agree with this number, or that woman I met with did a horrible job representing my comps, you will.
So you'll be pitching my.
I will be pitching your, so.
And where do you live?
In an area that was also overvalued. I can't appeal it because literally the house next to me sold for a ridiculous amount of money.
Well, but again, you gotta look at what everybody's paying.
I know.
That's the problem, and prices people are paying is not necessarily in line with everybody else on your street is doing, which is where this comes.
I know.
But like everything, some people are paying crazy numbers, some of them have overpaid, and then,
And I am seeing some people who overpaid, maybe even not, but like significantly overpaid, and their appraisal this year is actually down.
Yeah.
So I feel like it is possible, so I don't wanna hear like, oh, the market is crazy and it's everything's going up, but like, clearly, these people were caught up in a bidding war, a frenzy, and.
There you go.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So.
You own it.
Congratulations, you overpaid. So, all right, perfect. So, do you have any other questions for me?
I do not.
Okay.
If you're doing my son's Monday at 10:40 on his lot.
I don't know. They don't give me my schedule till the night before.
Oh, so you
I
would
don't know.
But he found out he's away next week at a trade show.
Oh.
So he said, Dad, can you do this one for me?
Is it another rental? Like, you guys are like real estate moguls?
He just bought a piece of land on Chestnut Street next to a house.
Where is
bought a boat.
Chestnut?
Nobody ever knew it. I didn't either.
Yeah,
And it backs up to exactly where we have stuff. It's when you come up past Stop and Shop on your left, heading up Kings Highway cutoff, before you get to the light, by where the highway.
By where
there's a little street on the right.
Is there the senior center there, or what's there?
That's across.
That's across.
This is going toward Bridgeport.
Okay, yeah.
And you cross the train tracks. And you'll see a street right there.
Really?
And then the traffic light is right there when you make the stop, because 23 comes off.
Okay.
They kind of like, right before that, there's Chestnut Street. And I had somebody come look at a property because their house was in foreclosure and they were getting divorced. And she says, I'm on Chestnut Street. I said, where the hell is Chestnut? And this was in 2010.
Okay.
And I've been paying it forever and ever. And owner, and it's like. And so we went over there, and it was the bank owned the house, and then there was a lot next door that had been spun off. And we bought 5, 4 plus.
Right, but it's not like a huge street that I could.
No, it's like tucked in, it butts up to the train. So anyway, long story short, I had them, and I wanted to get out of them. We weren't going to develop it or anything, and but so he bought the land, and we were able to, by buying the land, we were able to work a deal because my grandson buy the house as a starter home. He's 23. I mean, where do you buy something?
In Fairfield.
Good, so the pricing was fair. We had to put money into it, and you fix it up and stuff. But anyway.
Oh, very nice. And now I say too much talk about it.
So, because there's a problem with they call it floodway. That's why one of the reasons I wasn't going to develop.
Right.
Which is something
different than a wetland.
It's different than wetlands, different than floodplain, everything else.
Okay.
And we had to have variance to put the house on it. And then I hope you're here, so I don't explain this all over again on Monday. They request or whatever Andrews is. But so they won't let you build on the floodway.
Interesting.
We pulled the survey. I went down talking to Matt Decker. He says you can't build where it's floodway, and the house sits right in the floodway that they approved with this variance. So you can't build. So it's made it an unbuildable land. It's basically where it's zero. I mean, so part of this deal was he bought it. He paid $100, and they had praised it I think $280 or something. Well, because they don't know that either. So this again is an ideal like.
Gotcha.
So he said, I'll pay it on the 100.
Right.
I think eventually he's going to combine it with the other one.
Okay.
The house.
Fine.
They're talking about, combining it.
Yeah.
I don't know what, that's somewhere down the road. It's not my headache.
Right. Well,
he has his own home business. He has commercial, his business, and he has commercial on, or industrial on Chambers.
That sounds familiar.
That's off of Commerce Drive, right near Tile America.
Yeah.
Chambers from this way, Webster, so he has a lot there. He's getting ready to put a building
in
his business.
All right.
So,
you're busy.
He has his own little real estate stuff, but that's his headache.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
All right, well, these are great.
We're good. You've got plenty to do.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Appreciate the time.
Bye. Time is 9:07. Okay. Today is March 11th. The time is 9:21. The appeal number is 379. The property address is 61 Shoreham Terrace. I am Chrissy Kelly, and I'm here with Kenneth Walker, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just going to swear you in real quick. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. And I just need your signature on that first line there. Okay, perfect. All right. Like I said, my name is Chrissy Kelly. I'm an alternate on the Board of Assessment Appeals, so they bring in more people during this time because we have so many.
Sure.
So I'll be the one who will be presenting your case to the board, the rest of the board when we deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
So give me some good stuff so I can come back to them.
I'm going to do my best. So
Okay.
my first question is, have you reviewed any of the documentation I submitted?
I reviewed it briefly this morning, and my only, I don't want to say comment, question, concern was, I think some of the comps that you gave me, the sales were older, right? They weren't
that
more
was
recent.
back in, so my wife had passed away in March of 24. Things happen, unfortunately. And so this was something I had done in end of April.
Gotcha.
So yes,
Okay.
they are older.
So they're a little bit older, but that's, we can still use,
Sure.
everything is a good data
Sort of
point.
relevant to
Yeah.
my case. So, and this is a revised document for your purposes. It's
Okay.
similar to the summary that I had submitted already. However, there's a little bit more information in it.
Perfect. I'm gonna note that for the file. Okay.
All right, so just in summary, by the numbers, my assessment back in 2020 was $303,450. The new assessment was $591,859, which was a 95% increase from October 2020. I went through the informal appeal. I submitted documentation. My assessed value was dropped to $571,769, but it's still an 88.4% increase from October 2020. So the data that I have submitted includes that market assessment back in April.
And these numbers that you've given here, the 700, is that an appraised or an assessed value?
So
are we comparing
appraised?
Okay.
So the market analysis is that older one for $700,000 back in 2024. The Zillow, for whatever that's worth, was $656,200. Again, that copy is in your documentation.
Sure.
And I think the one that's the most relevant is at 76 Shoreham Terrace, which is right across the street from me. They had a certified appraiser come in, and he came up with a value for their property of $720,000.
Okay.
Not an assessed value, but a fair market value.
An appraised value, yep.
So I have submitted in the documentation what do they call it, the parcel card? Or
the field card.
The field card, and the copy of the appraisal.
Oh, perfect.
And so that property is exactly the same size land as mine. It's 5,000 square feet, exactly the same. And as you probably know, it's a high 80% of the value, total value that's being assessed. And then it's only 51 feet of square living space less than my house.
Okay.
So I think that was
a good comp.
It's a real good comp. So I think that's the one for me. It has the most relevance.
Okay.
And then just looking at the town's website, they're anticipating a 64 to 65% increase in value from 2020.
Yep.
That's fine. Everyone knows 06824 is a hot commodity. And so the town's revised fair market value for me is $816,813, which is, again, an 88% increase. My guesstimate, what I'm asking you to consider, is to bring it down to $750,000, which is a 73% increase from what it had been in 2020. So comps are not readily available because the inventory is so tight in this area.
I know.
So now it's like, to me, it's a numbers game. It's less about trying to match the right house and property for my property. It's more about, so what's reasonable in terms of increase?
Right.
There's going to be an increase.
Of course.
But what's really reasonable? So Shoreham Terrace is kind of a unique neighborhood. So my house is less of a 1/10 of a mile away from the Post Road, which is a very commercial, heavily traveled area. I'm less than a quarter.
Do you have the strip mall across? Right there. So
less than a quarter mile away from the Bridgeport line. We've got two family houses at the intersection of Shore and Post Road. We have other rental properties on the road. We have two family houses at the intersection of Shore and Riverside. So that's the parallel road. So and then that whole area is laden with two family houses. So there really hasn't been a lot of change in my neighborhood since October of 2020. So it kind of begs the question as to why such a huge increase from 2020. And I've spoken to my other neighbors, and they feel the same way, that their properties kind of fell into that high 90% increase from 2020. So my issue, and why I'm contesting this, is I don't think there are adequate comps to truly assess our area. And so anything that I've submitted thus far doesn't, in terms of the value of my property, doesn't come close to the $816,813 that the town has suggested it is.
Right.
So just to understand what I think the tax implications could be. So if we're going to go forward with that .019 mill rate, at what the town is suggesting, based on $816,000, I would have a 26% increase in my taxes. If we go to my value of $750,000, it's still a high increase, but it's 15.8%. But I can't contest, that the property's gone up in value.
Right.
I just am trying to govern it to a level that seems to be reasonable and appropriate.
Right. Right. Well, that's fair. And
That's all I
feel
got.
like again, I feel like I'll get a little bit of pushback on the sale dates of some of the comps, but the biggest piece of evidence you'll have is that appraisal that's for the house that's across the street.
Correct.
Because that is most comparable, it's most recent. What's the date on that? On the,
It was done, I think, in February,
yeah, let me see.
with an effective date, I think they were tying it back to the October 2025 date.
Right on the cover. Hold on, so much paper.
Lots
All
of
right.
paper, living in the digital age when we're not.
I know, but you know what though, I still I keep a paper calendar, I like paper,
I do too.
I do, I'm a dinosaur, so let's see. I should have the date, I just want to be able to point it out,
Sure.
because, hey, look, it is, here, this was signed, effective date of appraisal, 10/1/2025. All right, I'm gonna put that on my notes. 10/1/2025. That is recent. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So I will take all this. I will summarize some of your comp data so I can put it, I can present it better, or at least keep myself organized. That's the one downside of the rest of what I'm telling you next is that we're going to do all the hearings and then we do the deliberations. So the downside is that by the time I sit down for the deliberations, I have to be like, who was that lovely man that I sat with 3 weeks ago? You know, I remember. So I want to try to take as many notes as possible. And then, so we'll start deliberating since there's so many of these, and I don't know if you saw that there was a lot of no-shows these first couple days.
Well, I know, so I talked to 76 Shoreham, said, hey, Sandy, have you got any notification yet?
Yeah,
And he
did
goes,
you get a
"No."
letter?
I did, but late,
Yeah.
very late.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, Kenny, I called them. They said it went out, but no one's received them. Call them and find out when
Yeah.
it is, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
And even like the email reminders only came yesterday for today.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it is what it is, but, so that's difficult, the no-shows, but now you
Yeah.
have to reschedule on probably a tight schedule.
Very
I'm
tight
sure there's a
schedule,
bazillion
as it was.
People appealing.
Yes, there's over 900 that applied. And so, there was one day where almost half of mine didn't show up.
Ooh.
And so that's frustrating from my standpoint, but it's not their fault if
But
they didn't know.
But it's pretty clear there's an issue. It's
Right.
not about people who don't care.
No, oh God, no. And this is real money, like I
Right.
want to come in and make
It's
my case
legit,
too.
yeah.
So, that being said, we were originally saying that our goal, and hopefully we'll stick to it, they are trying to reschedule as many as they can, to stop hearing, or to be done with deliberations by the end of March. I think that's very ambitious. And then we'll start deliberating in the beginning of April.
Okay.
We're going to deliberate in the order that they were heard. So since this is only week 2 of deliberations, you should be towards the beginning of the pack there.
Process, okay.
So you will get a letter in the mail, same as you did with all your other ones. Hopefully you get a letter in the mail. And if there will be no explanation on it. It'll just be, this is your number, whatever.
Sure.
We will be recording the deliberations, so you can go to the Board of Assessment Appeals. Hopefully they should have the agendas posted of like, today's deliberations were these 20 properties or however many there were, and then you can go and listen to yours if you so choose. If you are not happy with your deliberation, with your number, their last effort, you can appeal with the state.
Okay.
But a little more onerous, probably more expensive, but it's still an option.
Yeah.
But hopefully it doesn't come to that. We'll see what happens, but I will do my best to present your case.
I'd like to think that what I'm asking for is reasonable, because we're currently at $816,000.
Right.
I'm asking to bring it down just slightly
Right.
to $750.
Right. It's not a huge, it's not a huge ask.
And hopefully the summary I put together is concise enough that you're able to track data.
And it's nice because then if somebody, even if I wasn't at the meeting, I'd still be able to read your, bullet points, so that is helpful. And again, I think your biggest help will be that more recent appraisal for something that's so close. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely, that's what I'm going to push the most, is that appraisal.
Appreciate that.
Okay. So do you have any other questions for me?
I don't at this time.
All right. Well, then hopefully you will get a letter in the mail early, mid-April.
Sure.
And then we can take it from there.
All I can do is put my best foot forward.
That's right, and you did. So.
All right, Chrissy.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Have a great day.
Nice to have a friendly face in this process. It was like, the guy was so stoic and not paying attention. He was like, oh, this is going to be really dry. Well,
but he's also here to do what you're doing. Yeah. And he's an appraiser, I think, so I've seen him 2 or 3 times now, so he's probably like, he could probably work here.
All right, Chrissy, thank you.
Have a good day. Is 9:33, and that was appraisal number 379. Okay. Today is March 11th. This is appeal number 418. The time is 9:42. This is Chrissy Kelly, and I'm here with Leslie Richmond.
Yep.
Is that okay? Perfect. That is what we've got. I'm going to swear you in real quick. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. And then just if you could sign there on that first line, that would be great. Perfect. So, like I said, my name is Chrissy Kelly. I'm an alternate on the Board of Assessment Appeals. They bring in extra members specifically for this reason because we have over like 900 appeals that we need to hear. So I will be the one who will, when we start deliberating, I will present your case to the broader board, and then we will vote on yay or nay of what we're doing. Could be the whole amount, could be none of it, could be some of it. So, okay. Tell me about 147 Trail Street.
Okay, well, let me just reread the reason for appeal, just to state the facts of presenting my case to the board. So the basis of the appeal is the market valuation, inequality in functional land obsolescence. I am seeking a reduction of the 2025 assessment on my property at 147 Trail Street. This request is based on comprehensive market analysis of 10 comparable sales within a 1-mile radius occurring strictly during the last year from 10/1/2024 to 10/1/2025, which was the valuation period. Fact number 1, the market timing analysis of these 10 neighborhood sales, which is on a quiet residential street, during this window establishes an average per square foot price of $384.83 per square foot, above grade living area. Applying this neighborhood average to my approximately 2,002 square foot results in a fair market value of $770,430. To highlight some of the the primary evidence on this, I picked out 80 Adley Road, which is a home that's very comparable to mine at 1,924 square feet, which sold on 12/3 for $580,000 at $301 per square foot, which is a near perfect match on a similar quiet street. And it's in the same area of Lake Mohegan, which is significantly lower than the current assessment that you provided suggested. The third point I'd like to highlight is the land utility hardship. And while the property is actually almost 3/4 of an acre, it's actually 0.7 of an acre,
The value is diminished by substantial surface ledge and legal easements. If you're not familiar with that road, the town road actually goes through my property, and I've had challenges since day one. I have flooding at the end of my road that still hasn't been resolved because there's not proper drainage or sewers, and I've talked to the town a few times about that. So that's an ongoing concern. The non-building acreage lacks the utility of a standard lot. There is evidence on 40 Lounsbury Road, which is 0.71 acres. That's sold for $840, inclusive of the home, despite having a fully visible, unencumbered lot. I've done extensive research of the area based upon, once again, the most recent studies. Further to that, when I got my original assessment on the property, I did call EcoVadis, I think it's, or the property.
Tyler's the one who did the appraisal.
Tyler.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I said, help me, educate me on like why am I getting this? How did you get to this number? He 100% agreed with me. We talked about a 7, mid-7s.
Mm-hmm.
He thought was fair. We talked about the hardships on the property, the same things that I'm talking to you about. It's not a buildable lot. I have tons of ledge. I have a road going through my property. I have a septic system backup plan that I don't even know is a backup plan right now because of the flooding in the area. So it's not like for like. He agreed. He told me that his assessment to the town was going to be around that number. I don't know if that got communicated back to you. It obviously didn't, because I wouldn't be here today.
So was that an official phone?
Had a phone interview with him. We went through. I think he's based in Vermont. We talked. He was a really nice guy. He looked at the property. He looked at everything. He said based upon the information, that was going to be his recommendation to the town. Things get lost in communication. I don't know what got communicated to the town, but we're still at a higher assessment, and I'm asking the town to readjust it accordingly.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to look at these 10, but I am going to do that after you leave. I will say I get some pushback when we talk to some board members when they do talk about the price per square foot, because it doesn't take into account then the land property, which a lot of this is, a lot of the assessments in town, the lion's share of the increase is in the land, not necessarily the dwelling. So
but that's fine. We already reviewed what the land hardships are, and it's not a like-for-like thing, so I think I'm being overtaxed and overassessed
so,
based upon those facts.
Definitely worth highlighting those hardships for the land. I'm just letting you know that the square footage, the price per square foot is not it's not formulaic. If it was that formulaic, we just took an average, but it's a data point nonetheless. But that being said, I will, definitely take a look at the rest of this. It seems like, I would like to follow up with Tyler to see if there was a miscommunication, see if he maybe did have a number and it just didn't get to the office. So that might be something that on our end we can follow up and say, hey, before we even start deliberating off of this 936 number, was that already changed and it just never made its way through the system? I'm not sure. So we will double check with that based on that. Did you get a letter in the mail?
No, he said this is the recommendation I'm going to provide to the town, but he's not the final say. It's something like that. And I'm like, okay, so, all right, well, I have to put my petition in anyhow, so let's just all agree, we had this conversation, that was your recommendation, and that should be submitted as the evidence as part of this case.
And see if the assessor has any documentation on a conversation that they have with them, and hopefully, maybe there was something that just slipped through the cracks. I'm not sure. So, nor can I.
But it was Tyler, I do remember.
Okay,
And he was in Vermont, and I still haven't spoken to him.
There you go. So, perfect.
So that's where we're at.
So I will definitely, I'm going to compile all your comps. So in my master spreadsheet, and I will take all these if you are.
So there's just some additional printouts of the ones that I stated on
Are they in here
ours.
already, or no?
They could be, I'm not sure what she printed out.
I have 48 Lounsbury
Yeah,
Road.
they could be in there, but if you need an extra
No,
copy.
that's okay,
You don't need
147
it?
Trail, no, because it's
Okay.
in here. 147 Trail,
Adley.
736 Cascade,
Yep,
80 Adley.
yeah, okay, you got it, you got the, enough.
And then that's it.
If you need
And then-
more, I'll give you more.
Oh, so do you want to walk me through this? You want to talk me through this for a second?
Oh, yeah, has a bigger printout here.
And see what you're saying about your septic, your ledge.
So,
Sorry, go ahead, you can orient it whichever way you
yeah,
want to. Yeah,
sorry.
that's okay.
Okay. I'm backwards.
Yes, I hear ya.
So imagine, okay, you're coming down the road,
Yep,
and then my driveway's like here. And
Okay.
the whole front of my property, because everything's pitched here, there's no sewer at the end of the road. Everything gets flooded out here.
Okay.
I talked to engineering, they came by like
Weird.
once, dug a little hole, didn't do nothing, didn't do
Okay.
anything. It's an ongoing problem, I'll probably have to readdress this with the town. But then you have a septic, I just talked to the septic people, they're like, do you know you're gonna have a huge mound of your front? I'm like, no, that's not gonna work.
okay.
We need to figure out how to work with the area that it's at,
Already in.
so that when
yeah.
it does fail, we replace it there.
Yeah,
I'll go get a report to drill more test holes, and
okay.
then back here it just drops off into a forest. There's a ravine and there's
Unusable,
ledge, it's
yeah,
unusable.
mhm.
There's a shed, oh, here's my shed.
Yeah, okay.
And then here's the road that actually goes right through my property. So Trail Street ends on
Oh.
my driveway, and Larry's lot, he bought this lot from the town.
Okay.
His driveway, you can see, goes
Right,
this way.
yeah,
The road technically goes right through my property, so the corner of my house, and then he built the fence right here, which I don't even know is legal,
okay.
because this is a town road,
Mhm.
and I don't know if you can put a fence
Fence
right
on
on
it.
a
Right,
potential
there's
town
some sort of
road.
easement or something, yeah.
Like, don't you have to have a fence 10 feet back or something,
I
like?
mean, like on corner lots and stuff you do, yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing that we may have to
Interesting.
talk about, but that's not related to the case, but I'm
Right.
just saying all the hardships.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
So, it's not a conforming lot.
No.
It's an odd lot.
And it's funny because that's what I'm, not a majority, but I'm seeing a decent number of appeals with that, where it's like, this is stuff that
It's an
doesn't get
oddball.
picked up on the field card, and,
Yeah,
you know, I keep telling everyone that a lot of people are getting caught up in this, like, a rising tide lifts all boats, but not all boats are the same, like,
yeah.
some boats have holes, some don't, like you say, like,
Yeah.
some boats have a slow
Yeah.
leak,
So I
um,
appreciate you hearing me
Yeah,
out.
no worries, and so,
Obviously, trying to be as realistic and fair about this, given the stated facts, and, hopefully, that will be taken into consideration, and we'll
yeah.
figure out what the outcome is, so hopefully it's a
Just-
positive outcome.
And just so you know, from a timing perspective, we are aiming to try to hear all of these appeals ambitiously by the end of March, and then we'll start deliberating in early April. And we're deliberating in order, so you're in week 2, so hopefully you'll be one of the first ones in the
Okay.
first top batch. You'll get a letter in the mail.
Yep.
The deliberations are going to be recorded, so if you go to the assessment appeals website, you'll be able to say, oh, this date they talked about my property, and I want to hear what they said about my property, if you want. So you can go back and listen if you're not happy with your number. And then lastly, if you are if still not happy with your number, you can still appeal with the state if you need to. That is, from what I understand, I'm not familiar with the process, but from what I've been told, it's a little more onerous, probably involves getting an attorney. But there is
Mhm.
one more option.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you
It
very
was
much.
nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
Have a good day.
Good luck with
Enjoy
it.
your dog.
Yeah, good luck with your dog.
Thanks.
Hopefully you're not vacuuming too much.
Oh,
Have
God.
a nice day.
That was 147 Trail Street, appeal number 418, and the time it ended is 9:55. Okay. Today is March 11th. The time is 10:01. The property address is 197 Old Post Road. I am here with, if this is Chrissy Kelly, I'm here with Sally Wanamaker and Chris Yurkevich. I will never say that correctly. I apologize. I just need to swear you guys in and then get your signature, and then we'll be good to go. So, do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
We do.
Okay.
I do.
And then if you can both just sign there. Perfect. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Okay, like I said, my name is Chrissy Kelly. I'm an alternate on the Board of Assessment Appeals. They bring in extra people this time of year because we have so many hearings. I will be the one who's presenting your hearing, to your case to the board when we start deliberating. So as much information as you can give me, I am happy to take to help make your case.
Okay, information is what we've got.
Perfect.
Okay.
And timing, I just want to know so we can manage our time.
You have 15 minutes. And technically the timing is 15 minutes, but really they give me 20-minute intervals. So if you ran over, it's fine.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, 10-20 basically. You have to.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is what we brought for you.
Okay.
This is sort of just an overview. Maybe this can help you later when you're...
Okay, is this for us to
this you can
keep? Okay, great, thank you.
And this is the amount, we're looking for this amount. We'll show you on the next page.
Okay.
What we did, we have, as under the red tab, we have a professional appraisal.
Very helpful.
We had Jeff Smith, who I know has presented to you before.
And it's new, as of October.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and he did this for us. He comes up with a suggested appraisal of 1.3950. We're currently appraised through the town at 1.773.
Yep, I see that.
And so he's coming up with a substantially lower number.
Yep.
The problem, and I know you know this is the problem, but that we found, is that we're in a historic home in the historic district. We're neighborhood 96.
Yep.
We did a comp search during a sales comp search during the base period. Nothing.
There's not a lot of
there's absolutely nothing. And so he based his on some other similar capes, colonials, but they're not necessarily historic. I think he did find one historic, but they're not necessarily in that block. I don't know if you know which block this is, but it's between Turney and South Bend.
Yeah, I live on Colonial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that block that where
the commercial
end, not the really, the fancy end. So what we did, in addition to this, we didn't bring him, he was going to come, but then he would have gone and taken our entire 15 minutes.
Yeah, I've sat in on a few of his now, and he walks me, which is lovely, but
we had other information that we wanted to share.
Perfect.
So what we did is we took a look at, this is our lot right here. We're right across from Belmont Street, which is, this is the cut through to Hole in the Wall and Marshall. Okay, so we're 197.
Yep.
We're so surprised at our 142% increase because for 3 of the 5 years of this base period, we were not in the house, we were living in Europe, and it was empty, and we did no improvements. And we were really surprised at how low these 3 were. So comparatively, I know that that's not the way that the board usually looks at it, but it can't be ignored because there's something not quite right in the model.
Yeah.
So, plus, we're backed up to a cemetery, which, we're going to talk about. Our driveway is right here. This line is funny. It doesn't exactly show, but we are, of these 4 houses, the only one that has to come out at a 4-way intersection. This house, their entrance is here.
It's on Avalon.
So, and we have a 16-year-old learning to drive, and so we now know for sure how difficult this is.
Right.
But these 2 houses don't even back up to a cemetery, so there's there's an issue when they're appraised lower than us. So I'll walk you through all that. So the first page that, and you can look at this when you, when you're presenting.
Yeah.
But this kind of compares all of them, but I'm going to walk you through like one house at a time. So this one here is, we're here, this is 157.
Okay.
So it's 2 doors down from us. Built in 1809, built in 1810.
Yep.
Okay.
So close.
So we're actually a little bit smaller than she is. We're a little bit, well, actually, this isn't about the land, this is about the house.
Yep.
And you can see we're a little bit smaller, and she's at 468 and we're at 801. We have no idea why.
Yeah.
She went up 37%, we went up 137%.
Right.
So,
157.
yeah, so, and, you know, again, you can keep all of this, but the other thing that we're gonna explain is that, you know, of these, we have not done any improvements in our house.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak to her. I know the two houses on the other side that I'm gonna talk about in a minute have had revolving doors improvements because we see it.
Yep.
They both have big, huge, beautiful new kitchens. We have a tiny galley kitchen.
Which I've seen.
Yeah.
No upgrades.
Yeah. And I know that she has a big, huge kitchen and not in compared to ours. So,
Yep.
so that's this home. Then you go next door across Avalon Court and 1810, 1839.
Yep.
Okay, they have a significant amount
More
than
they're
us.
bigger. Mm-hmm.
We were appraised at 801, they were at 813.
Mm-hmm.
But for, their percentage was a little bit less than ours, and then they're a little bit
Right.
lower.
Right.
They are, you know, we're going to talk about this with the land, but they're in a beautiful house that's been upgraded a lot.
Right.
Our house, you know, we haven't done any upgrades in the 22 years we've lived there really, except for a roof.
Okay.
So, and they have a giant,
of upgrades.
I'm not sure that it reflects that when you look, but.
On their field card, well, I
Yeah.
wonder, well, I'm gonna look up their field card, because sometimes people don't pull permits necessarily for all the work they do, so the town might not know.
They have a giant, great room kitchen, which, you know, we're in tiny little rooms with tiny little closets. And then on the other side of us is number 215. And again, 1810, 1854, so
Right,
similar,
well, yeah,
significantly bigger,
yeah, appraised much lower.
and by square feet, you can see that.
Right.
They
Right.
just put their house on the market, and we're gonna mention this in a minute. They listed it for 4 months, and they listed it, it did not sell. And We're
Okay.
gonna talk about reasons why it didn't sell.
Okay.
But they have 5 bedrooms, I went through the house, and I've been in it anyway, but I went through, they've got 5 bedrooms, they've got a finished attic, large closets, significantly more storage. This just doesn't make sense. You know,
Inconsistent.
Yeah.
so,
It's interesting.
interesting in a bad way.
Well, right, yeah. Intriguing.
Yeah. Confusing.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm just showing you a picture of our
Yep,
galley
pictures
kitchen.
are great, we love
Yep.
pictures, so.
And then, so this is our galley kitchen, and then behind our house, we have a barn/garage that we're being, you know, appraised for. So
Yep.
we did our appraisal. We know we have this structural issue because the neighbor's tree is.
200-year-old tree.
And so we
Yeah.
pretty much know, if we put the house on the market, we know we
That's
have to
failing
deal with it.
inspection, yeah.
Yeah, and we have to deal with it. And so we got an estimate for this amount, but that may or may not be that they were very clear.
Right.
That was just to
Once
do
you
the-
open it up,
Yeah,
the
and
other
it could,
things.
I mean,
Structural.
the whole thing we may not even have that building. So-
Gotcha.
So that's,
Not a selling point.
not a selling point.
Yeah.
The next thing to point out is that since we have lived there, 24 years, our heat and AC, it says we have AC. We've never really been able to use the AC that it says on the field card that we have because it was ducted and vented completely incorrectly, and when we turn it on, we get water dripping down our walls, so we just basically don't use it. We did finally just get an estimate to fix it, and it's attached at the back, and it's a $15,000 fix, which we actually might do now that we got the estimate.
I know.
But we don't really, you know, to say that we have AC is kind of
Yeah.
not exactly true.
It's a challenge code.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's that. The other thing is, and this is really tricky. I listened to the meeting, the February 18th meeting where you guys went through your first round. And I heard a few of the things that were talked about. And one of the things that was mentioned was that in this construction code, that C is average. Okay? And I've heard, because I've done a lot of research on it, that B is generally assigned to historic homes because they were built better quality materials back then and all of that. That's what I've heard. That's one school of thought. First of all, our neighbors at the house that's up higher, 175, they're a B minus, and I don't know why they're a B minus and we're a B, but I'm sure that they're getting.
Okay.
So I don't know what the discrepancy is there. It seems pretty arbitrary. But also, only 50% of our house was built in 1810. The rest of it has been a series of add-ons. And so there's inconsistency in the quality of material.
Right.
But any of the walls, I mean, basically, we have no insulation in the house that's from 1810. So we're freezing winter. We went away to Europe for 3 years and we came back and one of our outside walls looked like this.
Wow.
This is not
Which is
wall.
plaster.
Plaster.
Right.
This is what, because there's no insulation in there. This is not, and I mean,
Coming right in from the outside.
yeah,
Yep.
and I took this the other day, we haven't fixed it yet, we need to
Mhm.
fix it. But, none of the windows and doors are square. When, if we were to try to replace windows, it's much more expensive because they've got to reframe. It's the situation, I mean, it's not,
Right.
there needs to sort of be some sort of allowance for that. There's low ceilings, there are
Well,
codes.
reconsideration, it would be, what is it really?
Of the
look at?
B rating.
Right, yeah, so the
Right.
floors are slanted, there's low ceilings out of code, like we wanted to try to finish our basement, and we were told that the ceiling is too low, and we can't do that because of building code.
Code.
Yeah, and we can't really change the ceiling in the basement.
Nope.
So, I know you keep tapping.
No, it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
I just want to make sure the pace, we can always go
Okay.
back.
Okay, I know, you're always rushing me, my whole life is him rushing me.
It's okay,
Oh.
don't worry about it.
Okay, so the next thing, so this talks about, we feel that we should really be more like a C plus or a
Or
B
B
minus.
minus. Yep.
I don't know that he's gonna go change his whole code for us, but it seems to me to be more appropriate.
Okay.
Okay, then we go to the land appraisal, and again, I'm gonna show you the little thing here, and this compares all of the land. And you
Okay.
can see that we are, and trust me when I tell you, the least desirable lot of all of these. We back up to the cemetery, but this is so darn difficult, and the line
Yeah,
isn't.
I drive by this all the time.
Okay,
All the time.
so you know what we're,
Mhm.
but just imagine me with a broken shoulder trying to back out of here, and my 16-year-old backing out. I mean, and sometimes we're sitting here and waiting forever. And that's even going to change with the Circle Inn, which we'll talk about in a minute. These guys do back up to the cemetery like we do,
Mhm,
okay?
mhm.
These guys don't,
Do not.
these guys don't.
Yep.
But when you compare here, we have the highest, that we were raised the most, the highest percentage of increase, and we're 91.95 per square foot. And it makes no sense because we're the ones that are placed on this awkward piece of land. The other thing about the placement of our house and the driveway is we are the only of these three houses that can't turn around and pull out face forward.
Because of that home configuration.
Because of where the home, yeah.
And
And
the,
so
and
it's
the
not wide enough.
original, and the
Yeah.
original structure.
And we can't,
Okay.
and then
You have to back out.
we have to back out. And that's, these guys have their driveway here, so they
Right.
can pull straight out, she can pull straight out, she's got to turn around, and they've got the turnaround.
And technically, they built this private road way after 1810, but it's not even to code to the side of our house.
Look at, yeah.
That's so close.
It's
Yeah.
so close. We're looking at.
Which is kind of new, which, when we sell, we already have we already know we have a problem there.
Okay.
Okay, so this talks about the difference between all of that, some of
Yeah, no, this is all super helpful.
This is coming out of our driveway, you
Yeah.
can see, this is just one day, we're trying to pull out. We've got all kinds of traffic, you can see from Belmont, I'm looking at it upside down, but you can see.
Okay, yeah.
Like you can see on this picture in the top, there's there's cars coming up, cars coming down, cars coming across. And we also have this telephone pole, 2 utility poles, which the other houses that are assessed pretty lower than us don't have, that is not only ugly and aesthetically unpleasing, but it is in our way to see. So there's that. So here's the picture of it,
Yeah.
so you can kind of see. This is our view from the back.
From the house looking backwards.
Yeah.
And 135 and 157 don't have that, but again, appraised lower.
Okay.
Trying to determine why.
Yeah.
Weird. And then, this is another kind of thing. I heard them talk about it that February 18th meeting. Ross mentioned that historical homes north of 95 were all found to be appraised too high, so that they made an adjustment. And now but they didn't do that for the homes south of 95.
Okay.
If there's the ability to do that, I'd like to just point out, our house, that block of Old Post Road, which you know because you drive on it, we're currently configured in the same as go up a block and a half to like Campbell Thomas's house, like those houses up in the block between Beach Road and
South
South Benson.
Right.
They don't look at Marshalls from their front yard. No. They don't, the cemetery is a different thing, but they don't get the smell of, McDonald's, such as all that garbage blows up. We're picking it up out of our bushes all the time. I mean, this is not going to be good for us when we try to sell. It's not.
Right.
This seems to me that it should be kind of coded differently. There is a different neighborhood code. We're code 96 and they're code 65. But from what we could see, it looks like the way that they calculate things, they're using the same. And it just seems like there should be different consideration for that block in general.
Yeah.
But also for our home, we're the ones that can see Marshalls. I took this last night. This is from our front bedrooms. We can, right? I mean, we dimmed some of the street lights, but we see CVS and Marshalls. Not very appealing. Okay. And then, I heard Ross say that they have no data about this. You asked.
Yes,
I heard you ask.
I did.
I know you did. I heard you ask that question. And he said, but there's no data. Well, here's some data. Number 215.
I didn't believe him.
Yeah. Well, number 215, McDermott's next door.
Okay.
Put their house on the market for 4 months. Okay. Every single one of their people that were interested in the house turned it down because of the coming 6 doors away from us.
215.
Yeah. And the graveyard was the other. So somewhere we need some kind of compensation for that, or what is the word, not compensation?
Adjustment. Mm-hmm.
The other thing that is really important, and you probably don't know this, many people, I'm not saying you don't, but many people don't. I watched every one of those TPZ meetings. I practically threw up during all of them.
Okay.
The developer, they really seem to side with developers, as we all know, in this town.
Mm-hmm.
And they really skimmed over this, but the way that they're taking out the entranceway that goes right into the Circle Diner, they're reconfiguring it, there's only going to be one entranceway. Our traffic experts, the neighbors' traffic experts, figured out that it's going to put everyone coming up Belmont Street, which the headlights that are
turning left to get into the new apartment.
Okay. I mean, even more than the McDermott's house.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah. I mean, this is all these people that used to be able to pull in here are going to now pull around. I mean, they could go down.
But that's just.
But this is. It's already a cut-through street, and it's already a dangerous cut-through street. We know because there's not even like a good sidewalk. It's already a problem. But
always cars double parked on it.
And then stick out from hole in the wall, and So this is an issue, and this. So for him to say, we'll have to wait for the data, it doesn't matter. This is happening, and already sometimes we have to sit and wait 4 or 5 minutes to even get out of our driveway. And it's going to be so much worse. So anybody that wants to buy our house, and
and it's all over the news. So even if it's baked into if it's not in the data, it's in the psyche.
So anyway, that is our deal. I do want to point out here that this is the appraisal,
right?
And this does provide. I mean, he says 1.395. We're actually asking for just a little bit lower than that because I don't think he took into consideration the cemetery. I talked to him about it afterwards and asked him to adjust, and he was like kind of done because he's got so many.
Yeah, he's got a ton.
But the busy, the 5-way intersection or 4-way intersection, he said, the other ones are on busy roads too, but none of them have that back out problem that we have.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a definite issue with our property that I think, makes it not the most expensive of those 4, but should be the least.
Right.
I also did put on here the field cards for not only our property, but the 3 that I mentioned. Perfect. And I attached the 2 estimates that I mentioned that we had.
For the heating, for the air conditioning,
and for the garage.
The garage. Perfect.
And again, I do want to comment, I completely understand, and I've done a lot of reading about this, that the way that and I heard what some of the other professors said, some that had experience that, no, we only look at the sold comps. There are no sold comps. It can't be done. What
if there are none?
There has to be
other method. I 1,000% agree with you.
Yeah. So that's our deal.
Well, that is amazing, first of all. So thank you, and I can keep that, right? I'm going to keep that with this.
Bring
Yeah.
it home, hang it on the wall.
It is very helpful. It is all very helpful, and I can only speak for myself when I say a very solid argument. I have to convince, I don't know if there's 5 people, there's 3 people, 2 other people, but I will do my best because, again, well-organized, well-presented, good data. I'm a numbers person myself, so the numbers speak for themselves, I think. There is also anecdotal evidence, but there is also factual numbers.
Yeah.
And I think if anything, it's the consistency. It's one thing if the whole neighborhood all went up consistently, but looking at the numbers.
And it would be one thing if you're like, well, I just put in a brand new pool and updated all my you did not.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't even mention that. The 175, they did just put in a new gunite pool within the past 2-3 years.
Right.
That is in there.
Yeah.
But it's just so surprising to us. I mean, that we would be
the outlier.
Yeah. And it doesn't make any sense.
It was in the peak mode.
Okay.
But we've learned a lot through this process.
Just so you know, timing-wise, since there's so many of these and we have to reschedule a bunch, we are optimistic, or ambitious, I should say, about getting all the hearings done by the end of March. We are going to start deliberating as soon as we're done, and we're going to deliberate in order of the hearings. So since this is only week 2, hopefully you'll be on the earlier end of those deliberations.
Okay.
The deliberations will be recorded, so you will be able to hear the conversations around your case.
Yeah.
You will get a letter in the mail, we are hoping.
Yeah, we called 3 times for our letter.
Good. Did you get one?
Eventually.
You did?
We
Okay.
came down and
Yeah. So, hopefully we're saying early, mid-April.
Okay.
Don't hold us to that because who knows, but that's the plan. And then if you're still unhappy with your number, you can appeal with the state. That is a little more onerous from what I understand, but it is another option. But hopefully it doesn't come to that.
We will.
Yeah, and you should if you're not happy.
Because this is not.
Yeah, and it's real money.
Yeah.
I argue it's life-changing money,
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna mark the end of the meeting. It is 10:24, and again, that was appeal number 484. Okay, perfect. Today is March 11th. This is appeal number 657. The property address is 273 Wheeler Park Avenue. I am Chrissy Kelly. I'm here with Chris. Do you go by Kristen? Kristen DeWitt, and then I'm going to put, or I have to put other people.
Christopher DeWitt.
Christopher DeWitt.
They dropped your name, Dave.
I know, I just need to make sure everybody who's in the meeting is
Understand.
But then there's no name.
there was, at least your name is correct. There was some that came in where that name was completely wrong.
Okay.
It's a busted mail merge. This name up here was correct, but this one.
I'm first on the field card, so I think that's why I dropped Christopher.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, but we both own it.
Yeah,
We're both on the deed.
The time is 10:29. Okay, all right, for everyone's reference. Okay. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. And then I just need your quote to sign that.
Sure.
And then we are good to go.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Would you like to use my pen?
Sure.
That's my special pen, so.
You're lucky.
You're lucky I let you use it.
There you
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Okay, tell me about life at 273 Wheeler Park.
So, it's a very short snippet of time. So we acquired the property on December, I think it was 18th of 2025.
Okay.
So we just acquired it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Okay.
I submitted for your review and the board's review. This is actually the bank appraisal that was done because we do have a small mortgage on the property.
Mhm.
So this is very current. So I'd like to go over the comps with you on this. They are different than the property. So tell me how you'd like to
Yeah, no, you have at
continue.
it.
And then
Tell
there's a
me,
couple
yeah.
of other things I just want to highlight.
Yeah, because I will probably end up putting in my spreadsheet just the properties that were in the appraisal, but if there's a story that's not there, that's what I need to hear.
Yep,
Like, I'm just gonna line up, oh, the square footage and the this and the that,
Exactly.
but tell me why.
Absolutely.
I need to,
So there's four comparables that the bank used.
Mhm.
I submitted this to the reevaluation company.
Okay.
Nearly all of the comparables, right, so 3 out of the 4 comparables that they used
Mhm.
are larger homes.
Mhm.
They are updated, not only from an aesthetic perspective, but they're also updated from a mechanical perspective. So many of them have new heating and cooling, they have central air, right, they have new kitchens.
Mhm.
So,
So it's comparables you're talking about.
right, so comparable, you'll see comparable
Yep.
1, so. if
Okay,
you-
3 out of the 4.
Right, so
1, 2, and
1,
3.
2, and 3. And then comparable 4 is the one that is the most aligned to Wheeler Park, to the property that we purchased.
Okay.
And this property, the comparable 4, sold for $653, and ours was listed for $649.
And when did it sell?
This one was 2025.
Okay.
So the others, some, again, you'll see, so
Yeah.
even one of them was sold for $739, that was the highest. That was that's 3 doors down from ours.
Mhm.
However, it's 1,000 square feet bigger.
Mhm.
It's got more bedrooms. And it's in a much more desirable condition.
And it does not back up to school.
Yes, it does, please. So then comparable 2.
She's running the show.
Comparable
Okay.
2 sold for $660, right? Which again, this one is comparable, still 200 plus square feet larger,
Mhm.
same bedroom, same bathroom, completely redone. Like that was actually like a builder went in and like redid the entire thing. Comparable 3, same thing. So 200 square feet larger, same bedroom, same bathroom, but completely redone on the inside.
Okay.
Okay? So again, just from
And did he make adjustments for that in the appraisal? Do you know if he did? I'll take a look.
So yeah,
I'll take a
so the
look.
bank appraisal came out to be $680.
Right, but I feel like when they do so what's the one that was, so you just said was one of the ones that you said was completely redone, fully redone, like 2. I look at
Comparable to, yeah.
370, whatever, which one is that? Harvard.
But yeah, they adjusted to
Yeah,
get
they adjusted
to get ours.
To get it closer to.
To get it what, or not to ours,
Well,
they get it adjusted and then they come up with what their appraisal is.
Okay.
So that's why we were really floored when our assessment came back at 710 and change.
Right.
And our realtor, Krista Alicia, she's been a realtor for 25 years, I said, Krista, if I put them on the market today, would I get that? She said, not even close. And we actually, our listing was at $649. We did pay a little bit more just to make sure we got it. But she said, Kristen, we'd have to list it back at $649.5.
Right.
So it's nowhere near the 710. So yes, these were adjusted. You'll see that. You'll see she adjusted for like AC units, all of that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that I wanted to highlight is that the property, which we now realize, backs up on a school. And let me tell you, the noise of North Stratfield, it is right on top of North Stratfield, and it's a detriment. There is noise pollution. Look, the kids are lovely. Our children went to North Stratfield. We love the school, blah, blah, blah. But the noise is constant. And we've now come to find out it doesn't even stop in the summertime because they run
the bells ring all year.
The bells, the playground,
Well,
and the camps. The camps run all summer long. So people on the other side of Wheeler Park don't have that noise pollution, but we do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right by the soccer, you know North Stratfield? It's the soccer field part of it. So that's when we say it's.
Or like Saturday mornings,
And all summer, right?
Yeah.
So there was another thing that, again, just another data point. So we do have a small mortgage on the property.
Mm-hmm.
So when I log in, the mortgage/bank gives you a current estimate of your home, and it's now $666.
So
Is that in here?
I'm giving it
Can I
to you,
do that?
yeah?
Okay.
So, and I didn't put my case number on it, so I
That's
didn't
okay.
realize, okay. So it's actually gone down from their original 680, they're now saying the property is worth 666 as opposed to the appraisal of 680.
Is there, a date on this, or do you know?
I printed it yesterday, I mean, I can.
No, that's okay, I just
It was
wanted to say
yesterday.
as of,
As of, 3/10, yep,
okay.
but at least it's
Right,
showing,
this
it's
is another
not.
data point, yeah.
Trust me, I was shocked when I looked on there and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me,
Right.
but it's going down,
Right.
or it's adjusted.
Right.
The last thing that I thought I printed and I grabbed the wrong
That's
one,
okay.
a couple days before our house, 143 Wheeler sold, 3 bedrooms, I believe it's 2 baths, could be 1.5, I'm not sure. 143 sold for $450.
I will add that to the comp.
Because again, I realized that there obviously will be an adjustment differences,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Same road.
yeah.
I feel like unfortunately the evaluation company, you know how this goes.
Yeah.
There's some houses that are worth 600,
Yeah.
and there's some houses that are worth 1.2.
Yeah. And it seems like, this is my first year doing this, but a lot of the people who are coming in here do have some sort of unique feature to their property that's not like on the field card. Like there's some weird easement, or like this one literally shares a property line with fill in the blank, you know, so there's stuff that doesn't get captured.
Yeah.
That,
And ours, and again, the reason I'm here is this, we just acquired it, and here's all the documents.
Yeah.
So this is done by, she has her license, the appraiser license in there.
Yeah.
The other thing to note is the pictures, if you could, please tell the board, when you
Yeah.
discuss, I think it's important. When you look at the pictures in here on the appraisal, right, yeah, the house looks really cute and pretty.
That's yours.
It's
That's
ours.
yeah.
It's lipstick on a pig. They
Okay.
literally latex painted the bathroom. It's now
Okay.
chipping off. The kitchen looks all lovely, and I don't know if you want to,
Yeah.
like, they have pictures.
Yeah.
So hold on. So you'll see, okay, so go to, see this bathroom?
Yeah.
They put latex paint over the tub, over the walls. Like,
Wow.
they did put a new vanity in, but that's it. It literally does put paint on it. They
Yeah.
did the same thing, they just painted everything, they put
Right.
this, and painted the inside of the plastic tub, which we're dealing with now. Our furnace is 30 years old, we've perhaps,
Yeah, that's
Issues with
gonna
that.
need to be replaced.
yeah, so you
Mhm.
can see, everything is like almost original to the house,
Right.
not upgraded.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that was,
The floor was nice.
The floors are
The floor,
pretty.
oh my gosh,
They-
the floor.
they did a
floors
nice
are-
job on the floors.
The floors are like, yeah, exactly.
You can't dispute the floors.
And then even the kitchen, so the kitchen, these are all original cabinets.
I think it's that way.
It looks, yeah, keep coming back, like, it looks really, again, they did the right thing for
Very
selling
good,
it.
right.
It looks all pretty, it's all original, and they just put new Home Depot appliances.
Gotcha.
So-
So just new plans.
Right, it was just painted old cabinets. It even has like the old, like, dividers in there, the wood lazy.
Which is charming.
Yeah, charming, yeah,
Right.
that's realtor speak.
Right.
Charming is
Clean.
realtor speak.
Yeah, right, clean.
Cozy, exactly, so, yeah.
Okay.
So that, I think, covers, most accurate. Yeah, there was something that was not right. They had our basement listed as finished. That was the only thing that they.
On the field card,
that they
changed it, and then did they make an adjustment?
$2,000.
Okay.
So, again, very surprising, because I sent this letter to, I think I submitted that to
Or
you.
did you submit it to the,
I submitted it to Tyler, but I think I can leave this with you as well.
let me see what's in here.
There it is.
Yep.
Perfect, yep.
Mhm.
So I submitted all of this.
Perfect.
So we were, again,
Yeah.
we love Fairfield, we support this town. My husband has served
Yeah.
on the town committees, the Board of Finance for
Yeah.
18, 16, 17 years.
Mhm.
So happy to pay share of taxes, concerned about having a house valued more than it's actually really worth.
I agree.
3 months after we bought it.
3 months
Yeah.
after you bought it, right.
I mean, it's not even 3 months.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I argue you're
December-
your own best comp at this point, you know?
Right,
from-
so it was
Yeah.
just, December 18th, we closed on it, so,
Yeah, so in 7 days, it'll be 3 whole months.
yeah, so we were expecting it to be in the sixes, somewhere hopefully mid-sixes-ish.
Right.
Compared, based on the comps.
Yeah.
So we were a little surprised when the number came back.
Okay.
So I think that is it.
Okay, well, this was great, and again, I love an appraisal, because I feel like, how can
you dispute
the appraisal? You have somebody whose job is to do one or two, however, a dozen properties, as opposed to the town who was in charge of doing the entire town.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, it was requested by the bank, so it's not like we requested an appraisal, got our best buddy to do it. It's requested by the bank. Right, exactly.
Well, I thank you for your time.
No
Thank
problem.
you, and please thank the board for the consideration.
I will.
Yeah.
Timing wise, I will just let you know that, we are hoping, ambitious, to get done with these hearings. By the end of March, which I think is a little ambitious, but the goal is to start deliberating early April. They plan on, they're gonna record the deliberations, so you will be able to hear
For
your property.
Okay.
Yep. I'm not 100% sure if that's being posted on the Board of Assessment, we'll have to, I don't know where you'll find them, but they will be available.
Okay.
Yeah. So there'll be a specific, sorry.
Chrissy, being that we met with you.
Yes, I'm gonna present your
and present your notes.
Yeah, to the board.
Great.
And then, there's been talk about whether or not those meetings are gonna be in person or via Zoom. Some people argue one way or the other.
Okay.
I'm indifferent. I will still make your case either way.
Okay.
And then you'll get a letter in the mail. And then, as you know, I'm sure you're aware that you can go to the state if you were still not happy with your number.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but,
Well,
you'll get your letter and it won't have any rationale. It'll just be like that letter with a bad mail, here's your new number, but you'll be able to hear it.
Well, and we presented data, so I'm hoping the data speaks,
And
for
again,
itself,
the people who have presented appraisals in my mind is the best piece of data that you can put together.
Unbiased.
It is what it is.
Awesome.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
No problem.
Nice
Thanks for your
meeting
time.
you. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. I'm just gonna. Okay. Today is March 11th. The time is 10:44. This is appeal number 668. The property address is 4665 Black Rock Turnpike. I am here with David Lasnick, sorry, and the owner, Dolan Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna circle that too. I'm gonna swear you guys in, and then we can start, okay? So, do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. And then if you could just get that a sign. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I think you have all this, but this is the updated.
Yep. Oh,
You made a couple corrections to it.
Just like the sale date was June 30th is the close date.
He submitted that on
okay,
today.
fine,
That should be in your
so
file.
just updated.
And then, he's here, but here
Yep.
are two authorizations.
Fine, perfect.
All right. So this is 4655 Black Rock Turnpike.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think this could be one of your easier ones today.
Okay, I
All right.
hope so.
The Dolans bought the property in, they closed on June 30th, 2025. This was a new listing. The property was listed in May 28th, 2025. It was listed at $1,099,000. They ended up paying $1,025,000, which is about 6% under ask. Here's the tax card, but obviously you have that.
Yep.
And then here's the final sale note, and here's the deeds, just to kind of back all that up.
Okay.
I think, our position is that the assessment appeals date is October 1, 2025.
Yep.
This property was an arm's length transaction, sold in June 30th, 2025. It's sold under market, under ask, and I think that's
Which
really...
nothing is doing that now.
Well, I think, and I think that's really significant.
Yeah.
For property to go under ask, the only reason it would do that is it was overpriced to such an extent that the seller really, was agreeing to sell it under ask, and he did. It's an arm's length transaction, and Mr. Dolan's here, and he can answer any questions as to that.
June 30, 2025 represents the fair market value of this piece of property, and it certainly didn't go up $100,000 in the next 90 days. In fact, if the assessor didn't use this sale as a comp for other properties in the neighborhood, I think they would have been derelict. I mean, this is certainly within a very short range of time when the assessor should have been considering other properties. I would note directly across the street, another property that sold in June of 2025, which is I'm not an appraiser, so have you look at the comp. This sold for $1,049,000, and you valued it at almost exactly at that number.
4680.
And this is on the same street, so or very, very close. Yeah. So there just seems to be some inconsistency with that, and if an appraiser were here, that's the value. We didn't get an appraiser because I think based on the timing of the sale, I don't think we needed one. That is the value.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you don't have to extrapolate anything. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. There's nothing. There's nothing.
No updates to the property from June.
No updates.
Right.
I can get into topography and the conservation easement and the wetlands, but that's already baked into the fair market
Probably
value.
baked in.
Right.
Yeah.
And the property
But
across the
I'll
street.
take
Take that, please.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna take it.
I mean, there's a driveway you can't turn left out of, there's a bunch of funny stuff with the driveway, it's a disaster for people being over there.
Right.
I mean, there's certainly negatives.
Nuance.
But that's baked in.
Yeah.
But all that is baked into the June 30, 2025, the purchase price.
Purchase price. Right.
And
Right.
on the property across the street, directly across the street, same size house, a couple years older,
That's what.
but 50% larger property without the conservation easement, the wetlands and the like, so.
So, yeah, if you want to do comps within the neighborhood, but again, they took the purchase price. It's
2 weeks before I bought
2
mine.
weeks before his, and that's pretty much the number they came up with, so, we get about 30,000. So.
Yeah. Without the conservation and easement, I just want to make sure I get all my notes in there that you have. Okay.
That's it.
All right.
So what do? You meet as a board?
So we meet as a board, so we're gonna do all these hearings, and then, whoever hears your case will be the one who presents it to however many people they're trying to get, it's gonna be 5 people at least at the meeting to deliberate. I will present it to them, we will have a vote, and.
Into April, you think?
So, we are hoping to be done with the hearings by the end of March.
Okay.
It's ambitious, I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
well, it's a revalue.
Yeah, it's ambitious. But, the goal is then to start deliberating, first in, first out.
Mm-hmm.
So this is only week 2, so you should be earlier in the deliberation process. The deliberations are going to be recorded. So you will be able, if you get your number and you're like, how the heck did I get this?
That's unique,
You
by the way.
could, you'll be able to listen to your, deliberations, which I think is helpful.
No, that's very helpful.
And then lastly, as you probably are aware, that if you do get your number and you're unhappy with it, you can appeal to the state, at the state level, which I have never done it. A few people have been here who've done it. They said it's a little onerous, but, worth it if you really.
It's a lot of work.
Hopefully.
Not a little, a lot onerous, and probably more expensive. But if you want to stand on principle, which I'm a firm believer of. But yeah, so that's it. I will present your case. We will look at the comps. We are fortunate enough that there are many realtors on the board, so they will, I am not one of them, but they will, even just off the cuff when we talk about properties, they'll be like, I've been in that house, I've been in that one has a brand new kitchen, that one's falling apart inside. So they have that, they can bring that extra color and expertise.
See, we hope with this appeal, most of that's really not relevant, because it's such a sale so close to the date. That everything's baked into that price. This is the fair market price.
Right. And you want to know what people are willing to pay? This is what people are willing to pay.
That's what it is.
2 weeks before that, people were willing to pay more for that property, which is valued less.
So, there's just a consistency issue that I am seeing across the board, that hopefully that's why we have these hearings, that they come to attention and we can.
Anything you want to add?
No, any questions for me at all?
No.
Good?
No. So you should be in good shape. I will compile all this together and I will present your case to the board.
Awesome. So what was your name?
Chrissy Kelly.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Chrissy.
Nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Enjoy the next 50 of these.
Yeah. Thanks. The time is now 10:51. Okay, today is March 11th. This is appeal number 130. Property address is 165 Jenny Lane. I am Chrissy Kelly. I'm here with Amy Crawford. And the time is 10:58. Let me just swear you in real quick. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I did. Okay. And I just need you to sign it right there. The first line. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Tell me about 165 Jenny Lane.
Okay. So, I received the original assessment and then did essentially the exercise that it suggested. So find comparable
in the area, yep.
in the area that were the same type,
yep.
That had sort of the same lot size and also had sort of the same housing situation. So like I have a 5-bedroom home, try to find comparable. So as part of that exercise, the 3 properties that matched similarly, the exercise indicated to me that the appraisal per square foot was much higher than those related homes.
Okay.
So,
and which address, do you have that separately on a schedule, or do you just have?
So on the first.
I want to be able to.
Yes, of course. So if you go, so they're here on this grid.
Okay.
It kind of lists, if we do 91 Hemlock.
My old lady eyes. Okay.
I can go and flip
No,
my
it's
computer
fine,
too.
because I do want to be able to write it down on.
Of course.
Here, so 91 Hemlock, or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Here,
91
so here we
Hemlock.
have 91 Hemlock.
Okay.
The square footage is 4102
Mm-hmm.
in comparison to 3875, which is the square foot of my home.
Yep.
The sales price was 1595, and it closed in February of 2025, and it's appraised at 155.
Okay.
Also a colonial. The kitchen is a higher rank than mine, so it's a modern kitchen.
Yeah.
It shows average bath for both, and the town has that as a B+. I didn't really know what those were, but there's a grade on that.
Yes, there are grades. I'm not sure what delineate, that's above my pay scale. What delineates that?
So by the town, it has a plus, and I'm a B. It's a B+.
Okay.
5 bedrooms, the lot size is the same, but the square footage is substantively different than mine at 378 versus 466.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting. And then you go to 220 Stonewall. So again, almost 1,000 square foot more than what I have at 4845. The sales price is at 1619. April of 25 was when it closed. That's appraised by the town at 16, which is almost $200,000 less than what I'm appraised. Colonial, average kitchen, has a better bath rating at good, same grade rating. 5 bedrooms, lot size 225. That one is actually, the appraisal is 341, so that's a big, and they have an in-ground pool, 3 fireplaces, it's a cul-de-sac property, and also Greenfield Hill. Then if you look at, and apologies, I know that this 1135 Holt Farm is also similarly in the square foot. They're like 3508, I'm 3875. The sales price is 139. It's closed outside of the window of the comps, but it's November 2025. And I think what's interesting here is that, the market things are selling at market value, if not above. That was appraised at 1732, again, $100,000 less than what I have. It's a colonial, it's average kitchen, average bath, but even by the town ranking, it's a higher grade house. So logically, and it has 6 bedrooms, 2 baths, and so it is in the Greenfield Hill neighborhood. And so, Hoyden's is not a Greenfield neighborhood, but comparably, it matched the specs of the house. If you take it out, it's the same, but it, again, it lists
another data point.
It's another data point, and there are several other properties on that Excel document that support a reduction. That take the home appraisal, like if you use those comps, it's anywhere from 145 to 5. like 5. In terms of like 145 to 154 is essentially, like, if you use those data points and use my comps, that's the range that outputs in this Excel document. I just tried to do as much data as possible.
Yeah, no, I'm a math major. I'm like a data geek. I love data.
And so even if I remove the Hoytens Hill and the Cape, because I know you're trying to compare comparables, even though the Cape was very similar to it, it still supports like a $374 appraisal square foot, which is still a pretty significant reduction.
Gotcha. On this sheet though, so what is the difference between the ones that are in the boxes versus, those are the ones that you think are the best comps?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I just put on this document,
I only put the ones that are in, fine, that's fine. I just want to say, so these other ones you would prefer us not to consider them comps, or
they're just good data points.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, some are like, some I compared the house versus the property, some I, just to try and get a sense of what we are looking at. Listen, I live in a beautiful home. I was widowed a couple of years ago. I looked at, what I could sell the home for, and I've asked 3 realtors of what I could sell the home for today, and even based on their comps, the 1.8 is above the range.
Gotcha. Okay. And so your property specifically since the last reval, like no major upgrades? Nothing.
No.
So, no upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, even on some of these like properties, like they have that are in this category here, the Hemlock, Stonewall, Halls Farm.
Yeah.
Like even if you look at Hemlock, brand new renovated bathroom, new roof, new septic, screened-in porch. Their appraisal on the property, not the land, is $763,200. And if you look at my appraisal on the house, it's $873. So there's almost $100,000 difference in the valuation of improvements, which again, just like logically tracking, doesn't. So
you, gotcha. Right, so you were assessed at 611 on the dwelling, up from 379.
So
that's,
yes, from 611 one to 873, despite no improvements to the house.
Yeah, 611, right, gotcha. Interesting. Okay. So you've given me lots of good data with the comps that I can look at to make your case. Yeah, that's all good data and all stuff that we can, and so this is your summary sheet, and then the rest of this is the field cards and all that stuff. Okay, fine. So we will keep all of this together, so we don't have to print it out again. And then, just letting you know from a timing perspective, we're hoping to hear all of these hearings by the end of March, which is a little ambitious because there's so many of them, but that's the plan. And then we will start deliberating hopefully early April. Deliberations are going to be recorded, so you will be able to hear the conversation, what we talked about, what went into the decision. And then you'll just get a letter in the mail. It won't have rationale or anything. Hopefully those letters will go out in April, mid-April. We are doing the deliberations in the order of first in, first out, so this is only the beginning of week 2, so you should be on the earlier side of those deliberations. And then lastly, if you are unsatisfied with your number, there is always a chance to, you have the option of appealing at the state level. I am not 100% aware of all the effort that is involved there. I have been told that it's a pretty onerous process, but it is still an option. Okay, so I'm just throwing that out there, that there is one last gap if need be, but hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Awesome. I'm appreciative of your time.
No problem. Do you have any other questions for me? Okay, great. Thank you so much.
I'm Amy, thank
I'm
you.
Chrissy. Have a great day.
Thank you, have a good day.
Bye. Time is 11:08. Okay, Today is March 11th. This is appeal number 567. Property address is 205 Longdean Road. The time is 11:17. I am Chrissy Kelly, and I'm here with Michael Colleen. Okay, and I just need to swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. And I just need your signature right there. Again, my name is Chrissy Kelly. I am an alternate on the Board of Assessment Appeals. They bring more people in to hear the 900 hearings that we have to do.
Thank you for your service, by the way. It's not an easy
Fine by me. Okay, tell me about 205 Longdean.
Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about comps and all the other things, you know, because of the proximity of my house and where it's located. It's down just off of Reef Road.
Yep, I'm on Colonial.
Yep.
This area. Yep.
Exactly. So I'm on the other side of Reef. At the, you know, Veris Park here, going down to, the end of Longdean. I'm at the end of the cul-de-sac.
Okay.
So I'm the last house, the last single-family home. There's two families, one across the street and one next door.
Okay.
And then there's the marsh.
Yep.
Water treatment plant. So the first thing I like to, there's three things that I kind of have as points of why the appraisal value was a little bit off base. And we went through this exercise 5 years ago too, and they actually agreed with us and came up with the same price that I came in with.
So you appealed the last assessment?
I appealed the last one and won. And again, I wasn't unreasonable. I think they realized that property values have gone up. I know I'm going to be paying more taxes. As everyone is. But this situation's a little bit different than other homes in the beach area. First is the main concern was the environmental issue. Obviously everybody knows about the fill pile, the contamination. Even when they started building the wall around the DPW facilities, the water treatment plant, and some of the other ones, the fire training center, the town discovered there's all kinds of contaminants in the soil, not just in the fill pile, but also next to the water treatment plant. PCBs, other types of, lead, things of this nature, which when Brenda Kopchick was around, she was supposed to address those issues closer to my home, which is less than 100 yards. And they didn't. The other thing was...
So you're less than 100 yards to the fill pile?
To the water treatment plant and some of the contamination there. And I'm a couple of hundred yards from, the landfill and the transfer center and the fill pile. But obviously things blow out of the southwest, so that's blowing right into my house, which is, obviously a health concern.
Of course.
And brokers know it, people that, I put the house on the market not long ago, and brokers said, people are going to show up, they're going to take one look and start asking questions.
All over the news.
It's all over the news. They, you go to the end of the street, and I'm not sure what I provided you guys in the way of documents. Okay, so I did, so I did give you guys some of the things here, which, this is my house. So obviously I have a direct view, to the waste, the water treatment plant. And then when they light things on fire over here, obviously the smoke and the ash and things.
Anecdotally, one day we were renting a house here when we were building our house, and somebody came out of the driveway, and all of a sudden we were all like maced. And we called the police, like, what happened? They're like, oh, there was a training thing here. Like mace was coming into our driveway. So
it's incredible. Here's the fill pile. This is the, the landscape center and then the transfer center. So all this stuff, and believe me, I knew where I purchased the house, 23 years ago. But none of this was an issue. None of this was an issue. This was never here, the fire treatment, or the fire training center was never there. We never had a big wall around this stuff. And this landfill thing was never here. And not to mention the buses, those guys start honking their horns at 5:30 in the morning to test the horns. So, and that's, that's my main concern. Number one. And that definitely affects the property value. Aside from anybody else, like further up the street, or doesn't see it, or doesn't smell it.
Sure.
And then obviously the next one was just close proximity to all these types of facilities.
Right.
For the town, you know, and how they affect us.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned the fire training with the smoke. Well, when they do the training like you mentioned.
Yep.
The water treatment plant was supposed to be capped, and they never capped it. And in fact, the town extended it over to here. Next to the fire training center.
Okay.
So they've actually expanded it.
Right.
And still haven't capped these. You know, as you can see from the photo, nothing's capped.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, we had money budgeted for that. I'm not sure why the town never did that. So every once in a while, in the heat of the summer, you'll smell,
Oh, yeah. Yes,
the water
you do.
treatment plant. I had that problem in Stanford when I lived in Chapin Point. Beautiful area of Stanford, on the water, but the water treatment plant was on its way.
Yeah.
It was on the way down there. Again, so people ask, and I'm going to be in the house, the kids going to school, seniors in high school, they're going to college, I got 2 of them. I'll be selling the house probably in the next 5 years, but but I think, people come by, they're going to say, well, why are you paying so much, and, why is your house appraised for so much when, you've got all this issue?
Right, you've got all this stuff here. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the first 2 in a nutshell. The next one is kind of surrounds, a high concentration, and I'm sure you've experienced this as well, of college kids, college rentals.
Well, you know what, I haven't experienced, but people have been coming in, and specifically, I think it was on Fox Street, and I was like, I didn't realize the students were creeping up to Fox Street.
We never had a college rental in our neighborhood. I've been there 23 years.
So this year you do have students?
The yellow.
Interesting.
All the yellow circles in my diagram are college kids. These 2, there's and obviously opportunity, these 2 houses came on the market, they went up, separate purchasers, but, one guy renovated the house, and these aren't even seniors, these are juniors in some of these homes now. So what my biggest concern is, well, obviously the traffic and the speed, and the rate of speed these guys go up. And this is a family neighborhood. We have all new families with babies and things on the street. We've got another one down here just at the end of Cummings, and then 3 of them in a cluster. This poor person that lives here on Varus complains about these guys all the time on the corner because they park, wherever they want.
Somehow I got locked out. Do you have a phone number for room number 4?
What do you mean, a phone number?
They could unlock it, because I'm in the same entrance as room number 3.
Oh. Otherwise, you gotta go down to the assessor's office. I have no idea. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
So, and I mean, my wife got into an accident on the Reef Road just because of the car. When these guys are in here. So, I mean, it's really becoming an issue, especially, especially on my street. And they're not on any other street. I mean, there's none on Forest, although we'll get to that.
Okay.
But in addition to the college kids, and believe me, people will see it if they come and come down to my house, and when I put it on the market, I would never list it in season because there's going to be a ton of college kids. The 2 green ones are two families, right? And this guy I've known for a long time. His mother's owned the houses, now she's passed, and he's inherited it. And he's considering selling these things or turning them over to students because they know what people are making.
Yeah.
So this whole cul-de-sac next to down the end of the street, which is feet from my house, will be filled with tons of college kids and cars, which will clearly destroy my property out here.
Wow.
Even more.
Okay.
And then the last thing around this whole thing is this 830G that this town has decided to go out of their way to accommodate and change the the zoning laws and everything else. There's a 45 unit here. And how are they going to access it? Down Forest Road, which has houses in the way. So they're going to knock down a house, or they've got some type of easement from here for a parking lot, which is directly in my backyard, within the view of my backyard.
Yeah.
Which will again increase, the number of traffic. That's 45 minutes. So,
Wow.
that's kind of the last, and they're gonna access it from Forest Road.
Right.
Which is right in my backyard. So between the college kids, the 45 unit,
Right.
830G that's going up, which, I'm not opposed to 830Gs if they're in the right area, but it's in a residential area.
Right.
Forest is already full of, a ton of four families.
Gotcha.
All these houses behind me are four
Multi-family
families.
homes,
I
yeah.
don't know if I gave you guys any photos of those, I don't think I did,
Okay.
so I'll just maybe.
I'm just gonna write it on here, mostly
Yeah, I didn't take a picture of that, but.
multi-family. Okay.
So, yeah, that's
Okay,
kind of like the
and
last
then,
piece of the
so-
puzzle. I mean, I don't think I'm too far out of whack.
With where some of the other houses are, or?
Well, with just the value of the house that I've heard, my wife's family owns a real estate company in Westport.
Okay.
And they've kind of come down and done
Like an unofficial.
assessment of what the value might look like compared to what the town thinks it's appraised at.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
and, even with, this is where the town is, 339, I'm saying 735.
Yep.
If it gets to 514, there's still an increase of $3,300 in taxes on my part.
Right.
From where, I was. I mean, I don't think I had much of any increase in the last assessment.
Right.
period.
And it does look, like everyone else, it looks like the lion's share of the increase is in the land versus the actual dwelling.
Well, that's what they do now.
Yeah.
They put it onto the land because we're knocking everything down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is not really, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
You're still living in
It
it.
doesn't matter if it's the
Yeah.
land or the building,
Yeah.
it's still the location, but it's still the location with all these issues.
Right. Right.
And God forbid anyone in me or my family ever come down with any type of form of cancer. I mean, I have been diagnosed with skin cancer, which could be contributed to some of the contaminants that are coming.
You never know.
Oh, it's a fact.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, well, I will be the one who's presenting your case to the board, so I'm gonna go to them with all of this. You have good data here, you have good pictures, you have all that good stuff. I will go to them. The hearings will be, recorded. The deliberations will be recorded. Yeah, so you will be able to hear what we are saying and the discussion about your property. We're hoping to have the hearings done by the end of March, which is ambitious, and then start the hearings the first week in April. We are sending out letters based on first come, first served. So this is only the second week of hearing, so you should be hopefully in the earlier batch hearing in the earlier part of April.
Okay.
So you'll get a letter. And lastly, if you are unsatisfied with that, then you can appeal to the state if need be.
Got it.
I have never done it. People here have done
I
it.
haven't, because the last time, we came, to a reasonable, agreement, it was valid.
So hopefully it won't come to that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not looking to keep it the same.
Right.
Because I know, the property values have gone up, but not 51%.
Exactly.
Based on my location and my situation, right, so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, the time is now 11:31, and that was hearing 567. Perfect. Okay. Today is March 11th. This is appeal number 432. Property address is 51 High Lawn Road. The time is now 11:39. And I am Chrissy Kelly. I'm here with David Allen and Inez. Okay. So you're here. And then I'm just going to swear you in real quick. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. And then if you could each just sign on there. Yep, that line, yep, and then you can sign on the other one. That's perfect. Okay, tell me about
Okay,
61 Highland Road.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we're here, I feel that the value that the town came in was a bit higher than, based off of what I think the market justifies.
Okay.
So the town came in at a value of $1,295,100.
Yep.
I'm here to explain to you, and I provided, backup analysis to state that I think a more reasonable value, fair market value, would be $950,000.
Okay.
So how do I justify that? If you want to scroll, sorry, I'm like in business mode here.
I'm like, let me zoom in here.
Could you go to the page, the next page back? So
Sure.
I have a page, nope,
Oh,
right here.
Go.
So these are key highlights. So this is basically a summary page of all the analysis I did.
Okay.
So the first part was comparable sales. So I took
Very
3
helpful.
comparable sales, a 1 mile radius from our house.
Okay.
Sales ranged from 810,000 to 1.1 million. Okay. I then took that, and if you look at number 2, I then did a sales approach analysis to derive fair market value.
Okay.
So I did the analysis. The range of value that I came up with based off of the analysis was between 920 and 950,000.
Okay.
So that's part 1. Part 2 is, if you look at the fair market value for cost approach, the next one down. So then I did a cost approach. And as we know, the cost approach estimates the property fair market value by calculating the current cost to replace or reproduce the improvements, subtracting accrued depreciation, and adding the estimated value and the land.
Okay.
So step 1, I did the replacement cost, which is new. Step 2, I did the accrued depreciation, and step 3 was the land value. So from that analysis, I came up with a fair market value range of 950,000 to $1,050,000. So then what I did to derive my value is I took the midpoint. I took the midpoint between sales approach and cost approach to derive a value of $950,000. So that's how I'm justifying my number.
Okay.
So that is basically part 1, okay?
All right.
Now part 2 is number 4 and number 5 on that sheet. So basically what I did was I did an appraisal comparison, okay? So I took our house.
Yeah.
So subject house is 51 High Lawn Road, okay? And then I compared it to our neighbor's house, which is the house right next to us at 65 High Lawn Road.
Okay.
So these houses are identical. The acreage, the square footage, the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, absolutely identical, okay? So if you look at what the town is saying from current appraisal of land, we come in at, so if you want to go a little further back.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
So that's 1, all right, so that's 2, this is 1. Okay. Here. So, all right, so if you look at current appraisal, 2025 land.
Yep.
We're a 0.5% higher, which I can live with.
Right.
If you look at the improvement, which is the actual structure on the property, we're at 57% higher. Okay. So if you look at our value, which is $1,295,100, and the difference between what the town is saying 65 High Lawn Road is, we're $238,000 higher.
Interesting.
Okay. Then if you then go to, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
We do an appraisal comparison of 95 High Lawn Road, which is then 2 houses down, same side of the street, but 3 houses down from us. Basically the same difference in percentage. The land came in at our land came at 2% higher, which I could live with.
Right.
If you look at the improvement on the property, which is the actual structure, came at 46.62% higher.
Okay.
So that means the town is saying our house is worth $216,000 more overall than a house that's 3 houses down from us.
And practically identical. Yeah.
Right. So the town, and practically identical. So the town is basically saying that those 2 houses are just about $1 million.
Right.
But the town is saying that our house is worth almost $1.3 million. So if you take the fair market value sales approach cost approach, my midpoint of 950, and then you take the appraisal comparisons from these 2 houses, we're at between 950 and $1 million.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm doing my analysis. I know there's a lot in here. So my question is that when you and the board or whatever go back and actually look through this, deliberate, like what else are you presenting to say, well, I don't agree with this number? You know what I mean? Like, are there other sales comparisons that you're going to take that you can provide to me? Because in a way, I would want the town to justify to me that number, because as of right now, I don't see anything that the town is telling to me that the value is worth $1.3 million.
Right. Well, I would argue what would be helpful for us even as a board would have been if Tyler had told us the comps that they used for your home.
Yeah.
They have not told us that.
Would they ever?
I don't know. I know another board member has asked and said, can you just give them to me? And they're like, well, there was some wishy-washy that's happening there. So that, as a board member, is frustrating that they're not telling me what they used for comps.
Right.
So, other board members, what I know that they're going to want to hear, I can just tell you this based on the one meeting that we've had about what people view as more important than others, are local sales comps. Because the assessor came to our meeting and discussed, which was recorded, you can listen to him say, like, why appraisals can be good or bad. It depends on when appraisals were done, when they weren't done. Right. Many people who have come in here have had appraisals done from refis that they've done from, like, October. Like, in my mind, that's recent enough, you know? So that's, you know, recent sales. Some people are coming in with sales from like 2023.
Yeah.
Or
so this is all,
a lot has happened in the market from 2 years ago.
So these are the 3 sales, which are a 1 mile radius from our house. So we're on High Lawn, but we're off of High Street. So the one on High Street came in at 1.1.
Right.
Okay. And then the one on 38 Pepperbush, which is the side street, just like our street. So it's, you know, a couple streets up and parallel. You know, that one came in at $800.
And that was in September. So like that's in our window of, yeah.
Right. So based off of what the town is asking me to provide, this is exactly what the town needs.
Right, and that's what I would put together.
To derive a value.
Comps, I mean, I will give them, obviously, they have access to this whole thing, and we will discuss all of this, but at the end of the day, they want to say, okay, well, what are other houses selling for that are comparable in the neighborhood or whatever, and you've given us 3 good ones that we can look at.
Sure.
Right there. You know, if there's anything else that, I mean, I will, again, look through all these are your comps, you know. So it seems to be that the disconnect with your comps is not in the land, which is interesting because that's where a lot of the ones have been.
Yeah.
You know, have there been any major updates in your property since the last reval that they might be
yes. So
not valuing correctly?
Yes.
So if there have been, maybe you can help me address some of those.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we did finish the basement.
Okay.
No, half the basement, sorry.
Well, we finished half the basement. Okay. So I figured this would come up. Now, so I actually have this is the actual contract from Connecticut Basements.
Okay.
Spending $43,000 on
to waterproof it.
Yeah.
Well, to waterproof it and to finish half the basement.
Yeah.
So I could give this to the town if you guys need to take it.
Yeah.
Because basically.
Do you want me to make a copy or?
No, I have a copy. So that's your copy.
Okay.
So basically, what it is. So let's look at it from this perspective. Okay. So 65 High Lawn Road, which is the house right next to us, the town values that at $1,059,000. Okay. So if you add $43,000 to $1,059,000. You're at 1.1 million.
Yeah.
But we're still $192,000 higher.
Yeah.
Now, if you do the same thing for 95 High Lawn Road, you take the value that the town is saying is $1,079,000. You add the $43,000 to it, we're still at 1.1 million, and we're $172,000 more than that house. So there's no way that you're gonna spend $43,000 on a house and gain $200,000 in value.
Gotcha.
Doesn't happen.
So
that's kind of, so I think probably what they're plugging into their analysis is, okay, yes, we did finish the basement in 2020 or 2021, whenever we finished it. I think it was 2020. Yeah. We did that, but that does not justify a $200,000.
$240,000.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So there's a concern that we might be overvaluing this improvement.
Correct. Yeah, because the house right next to us, 65 High Lawn Road, that's the one probably the most, let's say, or you're as close to identical as you can possibly be.
And that's
we're $240,000 higher than that. But if you take their value and we add in the basement improvement, we're $200,000 higher.
So, and the 65 High Lawn was built in 2012. So actually a very recent structure.
So yeah, exactly. Well, that's a good point. So 65 High Lawn Road was built in 2012, brand new construction, okay? Now, our house was built in 1940, but in 2013, it was renovated.
Okay. Were you in that?
No, we didn't own the house at the time.
Okay.
So, there are remnants of the 1940 house in our house. It's not a 2013 house, the same, the original foundations.
Okay.
The original floor joists.
Yep.
The original, and I do know this from our neighbors because they were living there at the time, I had a conversation with them, the original studding of the first floor. So all of that is still there, right? So you can't say our house was built in 2013. It was renovated in 2013. So I think that also plays into the equation as well. Whereas 65 High Lawn Road was a brand new construction in 2012, ground up.
And I don't know if that matters, but up until the recent assessment, our house and 65 High Lawn have always been assessed pretty much identically.
Okay.
So they were actually always assessed slightly higher than we were in the dwelling.
65 High Lawn. I want to write it all down. And subject property has been evenly-ish. Okay. So other than that improvement, nothing else. So I just want to make sure we can write down as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Okay. Well, you've given us good comps, especially it looks like in the 65 High Lawn Road. You've done your analysis, which I will share. The board has access to all of this, but I will highlight the pieces that we feel necessary, and we will have all the comps laid out for us, and hopefully they will come to a similar conclusion.
Gotcha. So my question is when the board goes and does the analysis, how detailed did they get to each property? Because I understand that there's a volume number and there's only a certain amount of heads that can actually do the analysis. How detailed can you get it? Meaning, like, are we going to get someone who's really going to look at the analysis and say, well, wait a second, yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
Right, so.
And not just kind of, I'm afraid someone might be going through it and just kind of breeze through it and not really look at it.
So the
That's
good
my
news
concern.
is that, well, I'm going to be the one to present it, so hopefully I will do you justice.
Okay.
But I know that you've just met me, and why would you trust me when I say that? So I'm well aware of that you should be cautious. That being said, the deliberations are recorded, so you will be able to hear the entire conversation.
So when you present it, I can then listen?
Well, you can't contribute, and I don't know if it's going to be like live that you can listen live, but they will be recorded for you to listen to after the fact. But you know what, that's actually a question I should ask, is that if you can listen live but just not contribute, but you will have access to the deliberation.
I don't necessarily need to listen live, because chances are it's during business hours and I won't have time to do it anyways.
I think they're going to try to do that at night.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But either way, I would like to.
Yeah, so you'll be able to hear them.
Would love to be able to
And so they'll
listen,
be posted,
after the fact.
I believe, like the minutes will say, or the agenda will say, these are the properties there. So now will you have the exact time?
Yeah.
You may have to sift through and kind of, but you will have access to the deliberations. So, full disclosure, this is my first year on the board. What I've been told is that deliberations I've understood that they can get heated and they can get, so it sounds like to me that lots of attention is paid to each individual property. So I can't say that I've experienced it personally, but I have heard from multiple people who have served on the board many times that, because when we were arguing about should they be in person or should they be via Zoom, the people who have done this multiple times are arguing for it to be in person because they have in the conference room that realtors will bring up things on the screen and say, look at this kitchen compared to this kitchen, and look at this bathroom compared to this bathroom, because they can log into their MLS stuff. So I feel like there is a deep dive into
So there's, how many realtors are on the board?
There's at least 3 that I know of.
And so they'll argue for or against?
Well, either way, they'll just say, like, look, they're saying, like, if the appellant came to us and said, this is his house, and he's comparing it to these 3 houses. And they might say, look, I just did an open house in that house. That one has a brand new kitchen, and that one's kitchen is falling apart, original, whatever.
Right.
So it's not a good comp. So, like, they just bring more color to this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is my understanding of how the deliberations have gone, and which is why some of, especially the realtors, I think, are lobbying. I will take this.
I want to just include that in case that comes up, because that's the actual contract.
Basement improvement.
So, I mean, if you put $43,000 into a house,
Is the town saying your house goes up $43,000? Probably not, right?
In your case, we're saying it goes up $200,000.
$240,000.
Yeah, but no, I'm right, and those are the, like, we all know, that those are the changes that you make that they're thankless. You update your HVAC, you just spend $50,000 on it.
Yeah.
Buyer doesn't care, because they expect the house that, you know, like, they know. But yeah, so that is, from a timing perspective, I can't remember if I told you that, did I tell you that?
Nope.
Okay, so they're hoping to finish hearings by the end of March.
Okay.
And then, they're deliberating in the order of which first in, first out. So this is only the second week, you're kind of in the earlier stage, so hopefully we'll be deliberating first week or early April, I'm telling everyone.
Okay.
So that's the goal, and
So
then,
we'll get an email from the town? Or how does
you'll
that-
get
how
a
does that-
letter,
Oh,
you'll
we'll
get a letter, just like you have been, with the assessed number. And, there won't be any explanation, any of that stuff, but like I said, the deliberations will be recorded, so you can listen through there, and then if you are still unsatisfied with your number, you do have the option of appealing at the state level. Don't ask me what is involved in that, I just know that it's everyone said it's a little more onerous, would probably involve getting an attorney, but there are people who have sat here and said they did it 5 years ago, and they would do it again if they had to. So, I can't speak to the process because I've never done it.
Gotcha.
But it is an option.
Okay.
That is your last resort, if need be, but hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Yes.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
No?
Good. All right, it was lovely meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Good luck with you.
Thanks.
We have a lot of meetings today.
Time is 11:56. You guys are my last one.